I choose fine art because I feel it's the best way to express all of the meanings I want to show in all of my work. I always like to make my work quite meaningful and quite personal to me, but I want to show it in a way that the viewer can take it however they want and interpret it whatever they want from the painting. Long-term goals I want to make with this is take a fine art course in a uni, specifically Bath. Doing this would allow me to get more knowledge and practice in the subject. I will then use it to make pieces to sell, maybe even commissions. But the main path I want to take is to be a live wedding painter. Some people say it's quite old-fashioned, but I just love the meaningfulness behind that painting. This links into my project because I think fine art is the best use for this piece, because it has a lot of meaning and symbolism, which is mostly what fine art is judged on. It's also judged on aesthetic, and I quite like to have aesthetic pieces to evoke a certain emotion, which for this piece is quite dark and dingy and quite depressing. The concept of this work is to show how mental illness can create a false reality in your head, and it can make you blind to what the actual reality is. My aims and intentions are to show the problems with mental health issues and how it can be for some people because everyone experiences it differently. But in this piece I'm showing my personal experiences with it and how I would represent it. I want to show how it can make it seem that everything in the world is bad and all wrong, and make you see a false reality. It can make you think there's no hope, no love and no joy, and when you start to think that that is the truth, it starts to get quite hard. But I still want to show that there still is all this good in the world, and even though it's really hard to see it, there is hope to get better, and there is so much love and care in the world. You just have to have the right mindset to find it. I also want to show the lack of male representation in mental health, as I think it's very important. To represent all of this, I want to make a painting of a man in front of a mirror that is cracked, with flowers coming out of the cracks. The flowers each have meaning, such as love, strength, healing and change. The flowers coming from the cracks will be dead to show how mental health issues can ruin all of those things for you. There will be no reflection of the flowers in the mirror to show that they aren't an actual reality. To show the true reality of things, I will have a vase of the same flowers that are alive to show that those things are still real. Research into artists such as Andrew Kadamar, whose work shows quite a lot of emotions in a quite unique way, with facial features merged all together that show different expressions. Another one is Tom Mead, and I think his work shows the concept of different realities, as his work has quite a lot of glitches that tend to show another setting. And finally, Deandra Lee. She takes pictures of herself and then makes edits of them with things often to do with nature, such as flowers, clouds and animals. I think they spark quite a range of emotions, but to me they feel quite dreamy and surreal. Specifically, Tom Mead helped me realise that I want to do a piece that shows true reality and a false reality. Research I have done is used a range of materials to paint the flowers to find the best way I can paint them, as I have a lack of experience in painting flowers and plants. I also did some quick sketches to figure out a perspective, and also to figure out if it would be best cluttered or quite simple and basic. I found that painting the flowers in acrylic will probably work best for me, as I'm best experienced with that. I also found that almost looking over the shoulder of the person into the mirror will be best, and have it quite cluttered on the surface. If I were to actually make this piece, I would make it an acrylic painting, but for now I got my sister to take images of her boyfriend looking in a mirror for me, which is probably the strangest request I've ever gotten, but I then edited the mirror to look a bit bigger because it was too small to add the flowers. I then attempted to make cracks in the mirror, added the flowers on, some of which I painted and some of which I got from Google. I edited the lighting to be a bit more green and dingy. I told him to be really sad and depressed, and I think he did a great job. Look at that. Great job. Social and ethical considerations in this work are that it's obviously about mental health issues, but also that there's a lack of male representation. I think that this is a successful idea because I think it clearly shows the difference between two realities, and I think I visualised my personal experiences with mental health issues quite well. What I could do next with this idea is make it into a finalised painting and I colour in more detail.